December 20th, everybody. How many days left until Christmas? We have 5 days left until Christmas, you guys. It's coming up so soon. Today is Wednesday, and Christmas Day is literally Monday. So let's get into our Advent Calendar book. And today, because I said it's the 20th, we're going to look for 20. Oh, sorry, guys. We're going to look for the 20th, which happens to be right here close to the bottom. So let's open it up. And inside are some ballet slippers. Whatever could that mean? Let's check the book and the table of contents. Look at my mommy's note. And we're going to see what we're going to be doing today. So yesterday was Silent Night. So we sang Silent Night together while I was cooking dinner. Tonight says The Nutcracker on page 39. So let me turn to page 39. And let's see what the task of today is going to be. I hope it's not another song. Oh, look at this, you guys. Look at this. There is a child who's reading a book, and look how cozy that is. Look, they're under the blanket like we talked about Heavenly Peace yesterday. They're under the blanket next to the window, and it's snowing. It looks so nice. And when we look over here where it says December 20th, I see a grandfather clock and the word Nutcracker on there. Let me turn the page and see what is going to go on. Guys, look, it's a story. Meaning we're going to read a story together about a nutcracker. Do you guys know what a nutcracker is? Can you see Sergio is a nutcracker? Look over here too. Ooh, I hear a Christmas carol. Listen, it's so pretty. Yesterday was Silent Night. This is Hark the Herald Angels Sing, I think. Maybe. All right, you guys, let's wait for it to finish. It's a very long song today. Oh, isn't that so pretty? I love our Christmas carols. I hope you guys learn these songs and sing them with your family. Here's an example of a nutcracker, and I love to collect these. My great aunt used to give me a nutcracker every year with all of her travels, and I can remember I used to love collecting them. I used to love playing with them. All they are is it's a wooden figure, and on the back there's a lever that you can raise up and down, and watch as I raise it up and down. His mouth opens, and so originally what you would do is you would put a nut with a shell in the mouth and then clamp down on it and crack the shell so that you could eat the nut after. So that's what the nutcracker is all about. But I just think they're so majestic and so pretty. This one I got from a coworker one year. It says 2015, so quite a number of years ago. And then this one is an example of a hippie nutcracker. I love this. Let me get the peace sign ready and watch him open and close his mouth. He's got a guitar. So hippies back in the day were those people that loved to go to concerts, and they always loved to hang out and listen to good music. This one was from 2011, and that was when I was in grad school with my friend, and she gave me this for Christmas. And I keep it out, you guys, all year round. It doesn't even matter if it's Christmas or not. I always have this hippie nutcracker out. So let's read the story about the nutcracker, and this is the original story, so I'm hoping that everybody enjoys it. So get ready. Look at that picture. Ooh. On Christmas Eve, a little girl named Marie peeked out the window of her nursery to watch the snow falling outside. It was the night of her family's Christmas party, Marie's favorite night of all the year. Tonight, friends and family would arrive dressed in their finest, and the house would be filled with music, laughter, and dancing. Marie and her younger brother, Fritz, had been asked to wait in the nursery until all was ready. Just when they couldn't bear to wait any longer, the doors of the nursery flung open. In the doorway was a tall figure wrapped in a magnificent cloak. Godfather Drosselmeyer, the children called, running to him. Their godfather was a mysterious man, but always brought the children the most wonderful presents and stories from his travels in faraway lands. This year, Godfather Drosselmeyer gave Fritz a set of fine toy soldiers, and for Marie he produced under his cloak a strange doll, dressed like a soldier in a smart red jacket, with big eyes and a wide grin. It was a nutcracker, Drosselmeyer explained, showing Marie how the little man's strong jaws could crack any nut. Marie loved the nutcracker at once. At that moment, the band struck up a tune in the drawing room. The party had begun. Marie and Fritz rushed out to greet their guests. Everyone was celebrating merrily, and Marie danced and played with her friends all night long. She showed everyone her nutcracker, and all agreed he was a most fine specimen. But Fritz, bragging to his friends, claimed that he would make the nutcracker crack the biggest nut he could find. And grabbing the nutcracker from Marie's arms, he forced a giant Brazil nut into the doll's mouth. Crack! The poor nutcracker was no match for such a large, hard nut, and his jaw had snapped clean off. Crying out in anger, Marie took the nutcracker back from a guilty-looking Fritz and brought him to Drosselmeyer, who bound up the doll's jaw with a bit of white silk. Doesn't that get you frustrated and angry? Late that night, when the party was long over, Marie tossed and turned in bed. She worried about her nutcracker all alone where she had left him in the drawing room. Quietly, she crept into the room and scooped him up, settling on the sofa beside the great Christmas tree. Just as she began to drift off to sleep, the grandfather clock struck midnight, and Marie awoke with a start. She heard a terrible rustling and squeaking coming from the walls and turned to see huge mice scurrying across the room toward her. That is not okay. I would not be okay if a bunch of mice were scurrying towards me. At once, a figure leapt forward. It was her nutcracker, but now he was taller than she was and carrying a sword. At his command, the door from the nursery swung open and out marched Fritz's toy soldiers to do battle with the mice. The mice were led by an enormous and evil-looking mouse king who advanced on the nutcracker. The nutcracker fought bravely but soon stumbled and fell. Marie jumped to her feet. Without thinking, she pulled off her slipper and threw it as hard as she could to the Mouse King, making him turn in confusion. The nutcracker saw his chance and dealt a blow to the giant mouse, toppling him to the ground. The battle was won. As the frightened mice scurried away, Marie ran to her nutcracker to find that he was no longer the wooden doll with that wide smile. He had been transformed into a fair young man who smiled at Marie. He explained that he had once been a prince in his own country, but had helped rescue a child from the clutches of an evil sorcerer, the Mouse King. Enraged, the Mouse King had cursed the prince to live as a wooden nutcracker, banished from his own kingdom. Now that the Mouse King had been defeated, the curse was lifted, and the prince invited Marie to join him, and he returned to his home in the magical land of sweets. I want to go there. Marie took his hand, and a swirling winter wind whisked them both into the night. When Marie and the Nutcracker Prince arrived in the land of sweets, they were greeted by a crowd of hundreds, celebrating the prince's return. A great cheer arose from the carriage of white chocolate that carried them to the castle, made entirely of gumdrops. Once inside, they met a sugar plum fairy. Ooh, wait, let's see if there's some pictures here. Sugar Plum Fairy is a beautiful sprite who welcomed them to a special celebration in their honor. Taking their seats upon thrones made of spun sugar, a parade of dancers and acrobats leapt and whirled before them. Marie could smell the enticing aromas of chocolate, coffee, tea, and ginger as they performed. Finally, the Sugar Plum Fairy called everyone in the hall to join the dance, and Marie and her Nutcracker Prince twirled together alongside the couriers and dancers. It was the most magical night Marie had ever known. The celebrations ran very late, and Marie couldn't help but return to her seat to rest her head, and as the music played on, her eyes gently closed. Marie awoke in her own bed, with sunlight playing on her face. Was it all just a dream? She ran to the drawing room and discovered her Nutcracker wasn't there. In fact, she couldn't find him anywhere in the house. Her parents insisted that she must have simply misplaced him, but as Marie sat down with her family to a fine Christmas breakfast, she smiled to herself, for she alone knew the true tale of the Nutcracker Prince. It's so good, you guys. I love the story about the Nutcrackers. And again, I've always collected them, but it's kind of nice to know the original story and how it started. Look, I have a white one, a blue Nutcracker, a red Nutcracker, and you can see these are ornaments. So they're already ready to be hung either on the mantle, on the door, on the tree. They're ready. And I'll show you one other one that I have here that's super cool. This one is a more traditional Nutcracker in terms of really getting into the, the nut cutting business where, look at that, I can put a real Brazil nut in there and chomp on it without this jaw breaking because this one is made of metal. I got this from some special friends of mine. So let's move over to my second Advent calendar here. And today, oops, I gotta be careful with this one. Okay, today we said is December 20th. So let's go to the box number 20 and see what's inside. Oh, guys, I did it again. Oh, this is so good. Can you see that? Cream Saver. This is a strawberries and cream saver. You know what? If I swear to you, if a dream could be in candy form, this is it. And I got this from a good friend of mine who's retiring. She used to always keep these delicious candies in her office for any time that I visited. But since she's retiring and she won't be working with me anymore, she gave me the whole stash. So today I have a Cream Saver and I will miss her so much. All right, guys, happy December 20th. 5 days to Christmas. Take care. See you in the next one.